Hey, how you doing? It's Nomad here. And sorry for the lighting. Let's see if we can make it better. That's not helping either. Oh, jeez. Anyway, how you doing? Hold on. It's hot, and trying to figure out how to get this camera so I don't have to hold it somehow. Maybe, yeah, like that. That's kind of working. Whatever. Maybe if it's not so light in the back. Hold on. See if this is better. It's a little bit better. Not much. But, alright. Anyway, how are you? Well, a lot has happened since I last talked to you. This is part of the Operation Freedom series. If you're new to my channel, my name is Nomad, and which is my pin name. And basically, I've been living in a 30-foot RV for going on since 2018. It's a 30-year-old, 30-foot RV that I call Mountain Dreamer. It's a Type A. It's kind of a mini Type A. It's kind of great because it doesn't have... it has all the benefits of Type A, but it's long, but it's shorter and not as wide as most Type A's. It used to be, it's a AirX from a company called Rexall from the 70s. Or the 80s or whatever. They're out of business. But I think, if I can find a picture, and I'll put a picture here of, I actually got like an old picture of like the ad they had for it. It was like the luxury RV of its day. Anyway, that's why it's lasted so long. It's really good. It has a metal frame. It's 30 years old, so it's starting to show its age for sure, but it's nothing that can't be upgraded, fixed, repaired, refitted, just like an old boat, right? Anyway, I have a lot of series. The main last series was the Mountain Dreamer series, which is basically the chronicles of my family. I have a family. I have 4 kids and a wife, and we lived in this thing for 5 years or 6 years, whatever, until we got an apartment. And so you can find, if on the channel, you'll see the series called the Mountain Dreamer series if you want to see all that. But this is a new series because we ended up moving out of here into an apartment. But I never liked the apartment. The apartment was more for my wife and my son. Me and my wife aren't getting along. And basically, we're like, we have different values. Like, she's, a product of the Matrix, wants to live in debt and consumerism and all this stuff. And she has no problem paying a ton of rent forever. That's her. Me, I'm woke to the whole alternative living thing, and I want to go travel, be free, buy some land, stay as far from the Matrix as possible, hack the Matrix. I want to travel by land and sea, maybe air, and land, sea, and air, and I want to see the world, and I want to eventually settle down, buy some land, homestead, build my own house. That's what I want to do. So we're really kind of divergent. That'll be another video, but suffice it to say that this series is called Operation Freedom, and it's called that because my plan is to leave in this RV on September 1st, which is just about 6 weeks from now. And I'm leaving, and I'm going to go on my road trip. I'm planning there's 3 main itineraries for the RV. The first is the Southern California trip. That's the one I'm going to start on September 1st. And I'm basically going to go through the desert towns to San Diego from LA, which is where I'm based right now. And then I'm going to come back through to LA from San Diego through the beach towns. And I'm going to practice my surfing and master it during that time. That's part of the goal of that. But basically, that's really a shakedown trip. It does have a lot of little quirks. Like, there's a fuel leak, a tiny one when I first started. Suspension's kind of weird. It's good. It might need some new hoses and belts and stuff, but it's got a new fuel pump. That went out, I had to do that. Here's a video on that drama. That was funny. That was right before we got the apartment, and I thought we were taking the trip then. That was like a false start. We only got as far as South Pasadena. But it's got a lot of quirks. None of the interior stuff works, meaning like the air conditioning, the generator, the running water, the propane, like none of that works. I've rigged up a fridge system here. I have solar panels and I have an inverter. I get 500 watts of solar, but it's my battery system is the problem. I need to get some lithium ion batteries, which have gotten really cheap, by the way. So it's totally doable now. They're almost at the cost. Like, I just helped another friend of mine, Eddie, set up his RV solar, and he was looking for a battery. And Renogy has these new, and the link's in the description if you're interested. Renogy has these new mini LiFo, meaning lithium ion phosphate batteries, which used to be going for like $300. But it's a mini version. It still does what all the bigger ones do, 100 amp hours, which is a typical standard for a battery. And but it's the mini version, and it was only 200. Only 100 and something, right? Which is almost, maybe it was 200, but it was close to the price. If I go to O'Reilly's, which is where I go to get my marine batteries, they're $150 with a 1-year warranty. I mean, that's just $50 more. Yeah, so solar is really. So my plan is to, solar's really coming along. Anyway, so that's my plan. Put 2 of those in, upgrade to solar, have 1,000 watts of solar, get some lithium ion batteries in here, and then I'll be able to run the air conditioner, the microwave, everything. Like, it'll be great. And I can make my electrical box, which is interior, I have like under the bed back there's like a big area where all the electrical stuff is, and that's where my inverter is and the distribution DC panel. It's just sort of wasted space, but I can put the lithium ion batteries in there, put everything in there. That's my plan. Right now, I have to put the batteries outside under the RV in this little weird area. It can fit 3 marine batteries if I really do it properly. But they're always degrading and they give off fumes, and you're supposed to keep them outside. So by having the lithium ion batteries, that's going to make this way better. So I'm going on Operation Freedom by myself. The point is that I got a lot of old videos from when we lived in the RV, 300 as a matter of fact. And I just have been working hard and I haven't had time to edit them. But they're still interesting, and I want to put them up, but it's not going to be current, right? They're old. They're like 5 years old. So I'm going to call that series Throwback, Mountain Dreamers Throwback. And and I'm going to start a new series now with all these videos about me prepping for this trip. And then when the trip actually begins, I'm going to start a new series. I don't know what to call it. I'll call it something. Mountain Dreamers New Adventures or something. Oh, I'll just call it the name of that trip series, right? But anyway, so depending on when you're seeing this, that's what's going on. That's why all the videos are kind of out of order. But the other thing is the channel. I want to make it more about not so much about me, although I'll put up my stuff, but I wanted to shift more towards the philosophy. I wanted to be more about the philosophy of alternative living to help other people. Not even so much how-tos. I have a lot of how-tos. I'll put up how-tos, but there's a cotillion how-tos. What's wrong with our society? Why do we all feel the need to escape? Why is everyone feeling trapped? Like, I only know one other guy that really talks about it, and he's on the East Coast. This guy named Old Punk or something. I'll include his link below. We've actually become friends because of this common thing. So that's what I'm going to be talking about. That's what the channel is about, and the website Urban Nomads is about helping you or whoever, break free of the matrix and live free. Like, really, it's way deeper than you realize. And thank God I became homeless for a day 5 years ago, and I woke up to what was going on. If it hadn't been for that incident, I would still be asleep in the matrix. That was my red pill moment. But anyway, what else is going on? Well, so this part of Operation Freedom is me prepping the RV for this trip. And I'm almost there. Like, I pretty much waited till September 1st. 1, because I'm not ready. But 2, it's too hot to go through the deserts. And really, you should go through the deserts in the fall. Even September is too hot, honestly. But I'm going anyway. And, if I have to wait longer, I'll just do it. I'm just going to go anyway. And we'll just deal with the heat. Hopefully I'll have my air conditioners by then. Even if I don't, I'm still going. That's part of the adventure, not knowing everything. I'm just going to prep to the best of my ability, and we're going. It's not like we're taking a Pacific voyage. But yeah, so as far as, well, before I say that, I want to finish telling you about the trip plans. So my first itinerary is the Southern California itinerary. Once I come back to LA, then I'm going to fix up the RV with any changes that I feel like. I would like to redo the suspension, have it inspected, upgraded. I know it needs new shocks, stuff like that. Maybe have the brakes checked out, although I think the brakes are fine. And just these little things, like my blinkers don't work, stuff like that. Get all that little crap fixed, fix my front air conditioner. Yeah, because after that, we're going to take a bigger trip. And so maybe I'll stay here for a couple months and I'll do that retrofit. And then the plan is to do a Pacific Coast trip. And I'm going to go from here all the way up to Alaska. That's the plan. And I want to see, all the stuff. My style of traveling is, I call it the moseying on along style, which is like, I just like to mosey on along. Like, I just want to go to a spot. I just like to go to a spot and then when I get there, decide where I want to go next. I mean, I have a general trajectory, but I don't like to follow time schedules. Just go by how I feel and what I'm inspired to do. That's how I want to do. I enjoy traveling that way. When I was a kid, and even in college, the way everyone traveled was you had to get from A to B as fast as possible. So yeah, my plan is to take this Pacific Coast trip and really see everything that I want to see. I don't know how long that trip will last, whatever. Get all the way to Alaska, see Alaska. Then I want to go on what I'm calling the North American trip. And I'm thinking, I'm not sure which route I'm going to take. Since I'll already be up there, maybe I'll go through Canada. Anyway, if I can, go through Canada all the way to see Eastern Canada, which I'd love to see. Come back down the East Coast, revisit Boston where I went to school. Go through New York, go down all the way to Florida. And assuming that Florida hasn't turned into like some total racist place where they're rounding up black people, which is a possibility. If I can escape out of there, then come through, just see that area. I don't know, I'll just zigzag around, see as many states as I can, visit lots of relatives and old friends. And I feel like this will be the last time I see them. Who knows, but that's what I'm thinking. Like, see everyone one last time. I'm not very close with my family. We're kind of estranged, really. Yeah, there's some I'm definitely not talking to, so I won't be visiting them. And gosh, basically, yeah, so, but yeah, visit friends, family, make a lot of new friends, hopefully. And then head back west, zigzagging, seeing all the stuff I want to see. I have no idea how long. That trip might take a whole year. I have no idea. But I'm basically going to be living on the road, like I'm going to be living nomadically. I mean, my apartment will still be my home base, I guess, as far as my stuff, but I'm going to be paring down and stuff, and yeah, so. And then when I get back from that trip, so that might be a year or two, I don't know, that'll be the end of the RV phase. I want to sail too. And so somewhere in there, I'm going to start my sailing phase. Maybe when I get on the East Coast, I wouldn't mind sailing to the Bahamas and the Caribbean and seeing all that and learning to sail in the process. So I don't know. Maybe I'll park the RV and do some of that and then come this way. These are just general trajectories. Like, I'm not like going to plan it all out. I just know I'm going in this general direction and we'll see what happens. I'm not planning to upgrade this RV as far as I'm not planning to buy a new RV. Everyone's like, "You're gonna buy a new RV? That RV is so junky." It's like, first of all, RVs are a complete waste of money. Like, I would never buy a brand new RV. Do you know how many videos I've seen of people who are like, "Yeah, I paid $100,000 for this RV, and as soon as we drove it off the lot, it fell apart, and they won't call us back." Like, boats too. Like, I mean, the whole freaking leisure travel, RV boat industry is a freaking scam, man. Like, it's bad. And, because they mostly sell this, the dream to Matrix people who are trapped in the Matrix, or retirees. And they're like, oh, you could look at this life. You could travel, And some people do, but a lot of people buy those things and never... It's like all those boats you see in the marina, that never actually go sailing, or maybe once every 6 months they go sailing and the boat just sits in the marina. Well, the same thing happens with RVs, Yeah, so that's kind of the plan. Yeah, and then I want to shift to sailing mode. Now, in all this drama, I might buy some land somewhere. I might buy some land in Costa Rica to escape to when, while the Civil War breaks out in America. That's my... I'm serious. Like, that's my parachute plan. Because... Anyway, that's another story. But I might buy some land in Southern California somewhere, or California, wherever. I'll be looking as I travel. I'm not interested in settling down right now, so there's really no need to buy any land. Yeah, that's the plan. And as far as this RV, I'm not gonna be upgrading to a better RV. Like, this RV is solid. It has a metal frame, solid engine. Everything can be fixed. I mean, unless there's some kind of like major structural unfixable issue, like the frame is bent or something, I'm just going to keep, this is it. People buy old buses and fix them up. Like, this RV is good for me for now. It's not the prettiest thing in the world, but it's good enough and it serves the purpose. Gets 8 miles a gallon. I wouldn't mind like electrifying it at some point, and I might, if I get enough money and I can do it. Yeah, I wouldn't mind it being 4-wheel drive or 6-wheel drive. I might upgrade it to that. But this is my RV. Mountain Dreamer is my driving animal for now. We're gonna go on lots of good adventures together. So yeah, it's a little bit much for one person, but I like it because I just like it. I love Mountain Dreamer, and I feel like it's like a little studio apartment on wheels. It has everything I need. Like, this is more than enough space for me. I have a kitchen, bathroom, spacious bedroom, living room. It's tons of space. Like, when my family was in this, it was, at one point it was 7 of us, when my daughter's boyfriend was also sneaking in and sleeping in a chair at night. But it was my 4 kids. No, I'm sorry. It's 6 of us max. And it can house, it's crowded, but we live like that. We lived like that for a year, where it was so many people. And then eventually my daughter started moving out into different scenarios. But yeah, no, for like 2 or 3 years we were like that. So yeah. So that's the plan. I'm going to be putting a floor in here. I'm just going to keep fixing it up. And I'm happy with it, and we will see. So, yeah. What else? That's kind of it. This video wasn't supposed to be about that, but, somehow I ended up talking about it when I was like, oh, this is, if you're new to the channel, which, my channel's, even in 5 years, it's hardly made any progress. I'm like 700 subscribers, still haven't been monetized, whatever. It's just because I post so inconsistently. I don't really freaking care about all that. I want to help people. I want to educate people. I make money in other ways. We'll have videos about that, how to make money as a nomad, how to make money where you can be freer. For me, I make money, if you're curious. I do tech work, and I do it all remotely. I have 2 tech businesses, a software business and a tech support business, and I literally can run it out of my backpack. All I need is a phone, internet, and a laptop, and I'm good. So I could be anywhere, and I've honed that business pretty good. Even though I'm in LA, most of my clients are not in LA, so I really got that down. So, but yeah, I haven't really taken advantage of it. You know, why am I going to be in an apartment where all that goes to this rent and I'm just stuck in it and all my money goes to the landlord and he's free to travel and I'm just stuck in, like, hell no. Like, no. So, okay, that's it. If you actually want to know what this video was about, which is about Operation Freedom, the next episode, stay tuned. Stay tuned.